Hey everyone, it's Joy here. Welcome back to my channel. I am excited to share Simon Hurley's new Lunar Pastes in Breakup Blue and Love Struck. So they are just released and I am super excited to share them. So here these are the two colors. The blue one is the Breakup Blue, of course, and the red one is Love Struck. And I'm also going to be using products from scrapbook.com. This is some of their mixed media paper pads in black and white. I'm going to be showing 3 different techniques on this video, and then I have another video that will be coming out tomorrow showing a couple more techniques. So you definitely want to check out both videos. So I am starting with the Breakup Blue on a piece of that white mixed media paper. I am just spreading it on thin onto the background because I'm going to use a big die once this dries to die cut it out. So I'm just trying to get a fairly smooth background, which I did, and I'm going to set this aside to dry, but look at how beautiful that is. Okay, let's go to our next background. I am using the black mixed media paper, and then I'm using the Love Struck Lunar Paste. I'm also using the Heart Stencil from scrapbook.com. I thought this would be stunning against the black background, this fun pop of, it really kind of, I mean, it's a red, but it has like a pink tone to it too. Then on our third background, I am using more of that black mixed media, and I'm going to use both colors of Lunar Paste. I am using a blender tool with the Dome Foam from scrapbook.com, and I'm just kind of ink blending it. I'm just rubbing it. I want to get some stripes here, and I'll overlap the colors just a little bit. And this is, I love this background. We're going to use this to die cut a word from, which I think will be really, really fun, but you could keep this as a background as well. I am cleaning each of those little foam applicators off on a paper towel when I'm done, because you can reuse them later if you clean off all of the excess. Then it won't get so hard. But here is that Breakup Blue. Then I will come back in with more of that Love Struck and just gently go over that Breakup Blue. Now when you ink blend it essentially with this, with a foam tool or a brush, if you used a brush or whatever, it does dry quicker. I did take my heat tool to it though really quick just to make sure, but this one dried much faster than the other two because it's super thin. I am using the Love You word die from scrapbook.com to die cut through because I wanted my sentiment to have this fun background. But you could also use that background for a card. But look at how pretty that is. Okay, so this is that blue, the Breakup Blue solid piece that we did at the beginning. I'm using the thick and thin stripes die, and I just want to use the bigger stripes, but you get obviously thick and thin stripes as it says in the name. And I'm going to pull these apart. You kind of had to pull them apart because if you think about the paste, it's, you know, it's almost a little bit rubbery in a way. I am using the Love You stamp and coordinating die. I am just using the die here for the XO, which is the cute little heart there. I've die cut that 3 times, and I'm going to glue it together with some clear liquid glue from scrapbook.com, and I have die cut that from Nina Cardstock. And this is going to be our part of our sentiment for the background, and I'm also going to stamp a sentiment from the Love You stamp set, which has coordinating dies. I'm going to finish gluing these together, and then you also have the inserts to the hearts that you could use. I did not. I really did like the open heart, and I just like that these look like they're hand drawn, which I think is really fun. I am adhering this to a white card base or card panel to give a little bit of a white matte, some foam adhesive here, and then that checkered background is from the, let's see, Berry Sweet patterned paper from scrapbook.com. Then I'm going to ink up my sentiment, which says Love You So Much, with black ink on some white cardstock, and I'm just going to trim this out with my scissors And I'm going to kind of follow along the whole sentiment. My original thought was I was going to have the xoxo go straight across the center, but then I thought, you know, it'd be fun to have it at a diagonal. It'll take up more of the visual space. And I love those stenciled hearts on the background with the Love Struck Lunar Paste. I think it's so, so pretty. So let's adhere the rest of these down, and then we can pop our other sentiment on here. So like I said, tomorrow I will have another video out here on my channel, which has a couple more techniques that are different than these. So you'll definitely want to check that out. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way you guys don't miss the video. I'm going to add some foam adhesive strips behind this sentiment. If you guys have watched any of my videos, you probably know I really do love having my sentiments popped up with foam tape. It's pretty rare that I don't have that. So let's adhere this together. I'm going to place it on that second X, which I think is perfect. Okay, let's go to our next card. I have die cut from some black licorice cardstock, 2 more of the Love You sentiments from the Love You word die from scrapbook.com. I'm going to adhere those together. When I adhere sentiments or like the xoxo multiple layers, it's to give it dimension. It makes it feel thicker. It almost looks like chipboard, and I just really love the look of that. Now I'm going to adhere that die cut piece that we die cut from the stenciled background, or not the stenciled, I'm sorry, the ink blended background, but I'm going to adhere it slightly off because I want to see a little bit of that black come through. So it has a little bit of a black shadow because we will adhere this to a white card panel. So I'm just making sure all my pieces are nicely lined up, and now we have a little bit of that black shadow. Then the heart that die cut out of the center, I'm going to adhere the 2 black hearts together with that stencil paste, with the Lunar Paste heart on it, because I do want to pop that back into the center, but I'm going to give it some dimension. So let's first adhere the sentiment down. I was going back and forth if I wanted on a diagonal or straight, but I opted to go for a straight background. Then some foam adhesive behind those hearts that we already glued together. This is going to give it more dimension, and then we can pop it into the word love, and I think it gives it a little extra something. Then I have my sentiment that I need to stamp. I'm going to use my Misty like I did with the other one. This is from the Love You stamp set. And this one says sweetheart, so the whole sentiment will read Love You Sweetheart. I'm just lining it up at the bottom of my white cardstock so I can trim it out easy with my paper trimmer, and I just stamped it using some black ink. So let me trim that down. And then of course I'm going to have some foam tape because I want that popped up. I wanted this on a white background because I really wanted to see that Lunar Paste. It's so pretty. It pops off the page. I just love it. Then I decided to use some of the, it's like a white with black polka dots. This is from the Berry Sweet patterned paper. I thought that would be fun. Just a little fun, playful polka dot I think is super cute. And I will have a black mat behind the white card panel. And I also decided to die cut some hearts from the Love You coordinating die. There's a few different shapes hearts. I'm using the smallest one, and I'm die cutting it from that Lunar Paste blended background. So I want to have 2 of those hearts to add. The more of this background on here, the better, I think. And then I can just pop those in place. Well, let's put the card together first, and then we can pop those in place. I like the peeking, the outside edge peeking with that little bit of polka dot patterned paper. And then having that black mat behind it I think is so pretty. Now let's pop these little hearts into place, and then we can go on to our 3rd card. Okay, so I die cut those using that thick and thin strips die. I have a card panel here that I'm adhering them to. I'm just eyeballing the spacing and adhering them down. And then once they're adhered down, I can trim the excess off the edge. I already trimmed down the card panel on the side. I had one idea in my head of how I was going to make the card, and then I completely changed it. So I do end up trimming off the top and the bottom just a little bit, and I will use my paper trimmer for that, because I do want to have a matte and then another piece of patterned paper behind this. I'm using the big Love die from the Love You die set. And I've die cut that from Ballet Slippers cardstock. And I'm also going to add a black shadow behind it. So I'm going to die cut that again from black cardstock. Let's adhere these together. So again, a black matte. I'm going to use that same polka dot paper because I just love it so much. I think it's so playful and fun. I'm going to pop this up with some foam tape because I want this to have some dimension. I love a lot of dimension on cards. I think that's part of what makes your card kind of come alive. It just has this 3D look. So let's adhere our two sentiments together, again offsetting the pink to the black, and I did offset this quite a bit, so there is quite a bit of a black shadow, which I think what makes it so fun. Then I'm going to die cut the word You from white cardstock. That is also from the Love You die set. There is the stamp and coordinating die. I am adding some foam adhesive strips behind the Love You. And if you take the release paper off, you can just bend that foam tape however you need, wherever you need it to be, which I think is really fantastic, and it makes it go so much quicker. So let me add one more little piece here. I'm going to add that on a diagonal. Here's that little U. I only die cut that one time, and I'm going to adhere that down, but you could die cut it multiple times. That would be cute too. I probably should have done it that way. Then I have these little white hearts. These were die cut from the Slim Borders die that I actually ended up not using on any of these cards. I had planned on it, but I have the little white hearts from it, so it's perfect for this background. Now let's take a look at these up close. Look at that shimmer from that beautiful Breakup blue Lunar Paste. This one has both the Breakup blue and the Love Struck. And then this one is the Love Struck. I think it's just stunning. Thank you guys so very much for stopping by and watching. And remember, I have another video coming out tomorrow showing you more techniques. So you definitely don't want to miss that. So hit the notification bell, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.